Hello everyone and welcome to another Fallout 76 news update. This is the second video where I talk about all the new information that was presented at the QuakeCon Bethesda panel. And if you haven't seen the first video I did about the panel, I'll link it below and at the end of this video so you can go check it out. In that video I talked about the Q&A and all the new information that it gave us, and in this video I'm going to talk about the character system in Fallout 76 and the perk cards. And they actually showed us some new footage of that, so let's get into it. And if you want to watch the original QuakeCon footage, I'll leave a link for that below as well. First off is the character creation. You of course create your character in the vault. Looks like it's in your private quarters before actually leaving. This is in the player character's bedroom. And the character menu looks very similar to Fallout 4's, only Todd Howard said that it's even better. We're not sure in what way it's better. They didn't show us any of the features of it, just a few presets. Then they demonstrated the photo mode in more detail, showing off the various things that it can do. And it looks like a typical photo mode that you might see on a PS4 game, with a few extra features. You can change your field of view, zoom in and out. You can change your character's pose and facial expressions. You can apply various filters and things like that. And any pictures that you take in photo mode will also show up in load screens, like when you fast travel, so that's kind of cool. And of course, you can save these photos and share them with your friends. And not only can you take pictures whenever you want to, you can also change your character's appearance whenever you want to. And I think that is something that should be allowed in any game where you customize your character's appearance. I can't count how many times I created a character, and then when I was finally in the game and seeing my character in the game for the first time, especially in cutscenes, and they look, well, uglier than they did in the character creation menu, you know what I mean? And it's too late and can't change it now, so I'm very glad to hear that they're putting in this feature. Next, they showed the character leveling system. So when you level up, the first thing that you get to do is increase one of your special stats. And some of these are a little different than in Fallout 4, so I thought I'd focus on each one for a moment. So of course, first we have strength. And strength is actually the same as in Fallout 4. Strength is a measure of your raw physical power. It affects how much you can carry and the damage of all melee attacks. And for perception, we have perception affects your awareness of nearby enemies, your ability to detect stealthy movement, and your weapon accuracy in VATS. So your awareness of nearby enemies refers to the enemy indicator in your compass, the little red dot that shows where your enemy is. The higher your perception, the farther away you can detect enemies in your compass. I'm not sure what they mean by ability to detect stealthy movement. I wonder if when you're in combat with another player and you go into sneak mode and try to hide, the red dot that represents you in their compass goes away, maybe? But if they have high perception, then maybe it doesn't, at least if you're moving. That's just a guess of mine. I can't think what else it could be talking about, because it's not like you're sneaking up on NPCs, since there's no NPCs in the game, and real life people wouldn't fall for that sort of thing, right? Anyway, let me know what you guys think this means. Next we have endurance. Endurance is a measure of your overall physical fitness. It affects your total health, the action point drain from sprinting, and your resistance to disease. So that's identical to how it is in Fallout 4, with the extra bit about disease resistance, which they did add in Fallout 4's survival mode. Moving on, we have charisma. Now, charisma is one that is changed quite a bit from Fallout 4 because previously it affected your ability to pass speech checks with NPCs. But since there are no NPCs in Fallout 76, people were wondering what charisma would be used for. So charisma is your ability to help and lead others. It allows you to share higher point perks and also affects your rewards from group quests and prices when you barter. So it looks like charisma will be a very helpful perk to have when teaming up with your friends, if you're somebody who likes to do that a lot. So you can share higher perk cards with them and receive greater rewards when you go questing together. And of course, if you want to play a merchant type character, high charisma is definitely a must, so you can get better prices for your hard-earned junk and awesome weapons. Up next we have intelligence, and this one is a little different from Fallout 4 as well. Intelligence is a measure of your overall mental acuity and affects your ability to hack terminals, the condition and durability of items that you craft, and the return you get from scrapping. So it looks like the items that you craft are created with a base durability or something, and if you have low intelligence, that durability won't be as good as the same item created by someone with high intelligence. So again, if you want to be like a craftsman or something, intelligence would be something you would want to invest in so you can make the best gear possible. Next we have agility, and it's exactly the same as in Fallout 4. Agility is a measure of your overall fitness and reflexes. It affects the number of action points in VATS and your ability to sneak. Something you definitely want to invest in if you're going for a sneak character that uses VATS a lot. And last but not least is luck, which is also a bit different from Fallout 4. Luck is a measure of your general good fortune and affects the recharge rate of critical hits as well as the condition and durability of items that you loot. So that's interesting. If you've got high luck, the items that you find will be in better condition than if you had poor luck. So once you upgrade one of your special stats, you then get to pick a perk in that special, or in any other specials that you have unused points in. And you start the game with 1 point already in each special, so you can start equipping cards in any special that you want right out of the vault. Now, the way the perk cards work can be a bit confusing, so I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can. So you get new cards each time you level up. I don't think they mentioned how many new ones you get each time, or maybe I just missed it. I don't know if you get just one card, or you get one in each special, or... yeah, I don't think they said. Correct me if I'm wrong. But when you invest a point into a special, you're also gaining a point that you can spend on a perk in that special. So let's say you're level 2 and you already have 1 point in each special that you start the game with. Then you put the one you just earned into strength, for instance. You now have 2 points in strength that you can spend on any perk that you qualify for. Some perks are level restricted. You can save your points for later if you want to, and they accumulate each time you spend a point on that special. You can upgrade most perk cards to be more powerful by choosing a card that you already own and combining both of them to create a single, more powerful card. But you're going to want to be careful about where you put those points because each special has a cap of 15, so you likely won't have enough points in each special to max out each card, since cards can have from 1 to 5 ranks. And you can't put points into specials after level 50. So it's not like in Fallout 4 where you can just keep leveling up and eventually get every single perk. And Pete Hines did say on Twitter that you cannot reallocate or respec specials points. So you're going to have to pick and choose strategically. But even though you can't put points into specials after level 50, you still can keep choosing new cards after level 50. Todd Howard said that there are hundreds of these cards, and you'll be trying new ones even into the very high levels. And he didn't say whether or not there's actually going to be a level cap where you stop leveling up entirely, but he implied that there wouldn't be. He said they don't want to make a game where you stop leveling up, but they do have the cap in the special points to keep things balanced for the multiplayer. There is also a feature where you can get perk card packs. These packs are 4 random cards that you can equip if you want to. They are awarded every other level until level 5, and then every 5 levels after that. These aren't in addition to the ones you can normally choose from. They're just chosen randomly from what's available already. You can choose them on your own as well. It's just a way for you to try out new cards that you might not have thought to try out before. And there is also the chance it could give you higher leveled cards, in which case you'll be able to see something coming up that you might want to use once you reach that level, and so then you can plan accordingly. And you also get a stick of gum with a joke in the wrapper. And this gum is actually useful. It decreases your hunger for a while when you chew it, so that's kind of fun. Now, already people are getting all up in arms about these perk card packs, thinking that they're microtransactions and that we'll have to buy them with real money in order to level up or get all the perk cards, and Pete Hines has already debunked that more than once on Twitter. The perk card packs can only be acquired by leveling up. It's just a fun way to add some variety to the game. So you guys, you can put your pitchforks down now. So I hope I explained well enough how perk cards work. I discovered while making this video that it's a lot easier to understand it in my head than it is to explain it out loud. So I hope it makes sense. Anyway, now I would like to take a look at each of the perk cards that we were shown in this new footage so we can see a taste of what we can look forward to in the game. If you're not interested in knowing what the perks are and what they do, you don't have to watch the rest of the video, as this will be all I talk about until the end. However, the perks on some of the cards actually reveal some gameplay mechanics that we didn't know about before, so you might want to stay tuned just for that. I will be including the cards that are shown in the little cartoon bit, since they are most definitely legitimate cards, since a couple of them are seen again later on when they show us the real ones, but only a couple. They're kind of hard to make out, but I'll give it my best shot. First we have Bare Arms, which is a strength perk that we did not get in Fallout 4. Heavy guns weigh 20% less at rank 1, and this card has 4 ranks. Next up is a perception perk from Fallout 4, Night Person. Gain +1 intelligence and +1 perception between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Then we have a new one, Revenant, which is an endurance perk. Gain a +25% damage bonus for 2 minutes when a player revives you. And this has 2 ranks. So there will be the ability to revive your teammates when they go down. They don't necessarily die immediately, and you can revive them, so that's cool. The next one is also new, and is a charisma perk. Bodyguards gain 6 damage and energy resist, max 18 for each teammate, excluding you. And this is rank 1, and there are 4 ranks in this perk. So this would be a perk that you would equip when you're teaming up with other people, especially if you're playing the bard/healer sort of character, the one who takes care of the other team members. The next 3 are hidden, and we only get a look at their titles, and those are Friendly Fire, Quack Surgeon, and Animal Friend. I'm assuming that Friendly Fire has to do with either preventing or reducing the chances of friendly fire within your group, or maybe reducing damage taken by friendly fire. Quack Surgeon is actually seen in full later on, so I'll talk about that then. And Animal Friend is a perk from previous titles, and in Fallout 4 it's with your gun, aim at any animal below your level and gain a chance to pacify it. And chances are this will be the same in Fallout 76. Next up we've got Grease Monkey, which is a new intelligence perk. Workshop items are 30% cheaper to repair at rank 1, and there are 2 ranks. Now the usefulness of this perk remains to be seen. It's been said over and over that workshop items cost almost nothing to repair, and we'll have to wait and see just how often we'll need to repair them even. If it's anything like repairing workshop items in Fallout 4, then I don't think it will be worth spending a point on this. Of course, since you can swap out anytime you want, you could just equip it for a moment while you repair your stuff, then unequip it when you're done. But again, if the cost is negligible, then it might not even be worth the effort. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Next up, we have a new agility perk, Dodgy. Spend 30 action points to avoid 10% of each enemy attack at rank 1, and there are 3 ranks. This one is interesting. I wonder how that will work. Will it be a voluntary decision to spend those action points, or does it happen automatically whenever you have enough action points to spend? I don't know how I feel about that. There are 3 perks in this stack that only show the titles. Adrenaline is a new perk, at least to the perk chart, but I wonder if it works similar to the Adrenaline in Fallout 4's survival mode, which grants 5% damage bonus for every 5 kills, with a maximum of 50 damage bonus. The next 2 perks are from Fallout 4, so we can guess they are probably the same or very similar. Gun Fu, do 25% extra damage to your second VATS target and beyond. And Mr. Sandman, you can instantly kill a sleeping person, and your silenced weapons do an extra 15% sneak attack damage at rank 1. The next stack is Luck, and only one is visible. Mystery Meat. This is a new perk. Stimpaks may generate edible meat tissue. Higher rads improve the chance. That just sounds disgusting. Where is this edible meat tissue coming from? Yourself? And then you eat it? Gross. That's gross. This game obviously has some very unique and amusing perks. I can't wait to see what they all are. Next one is Mysterious Savior, which is also new. Unfortunately, we can't read what this does, but I'm guessing it could be similar to the Mysterious Stranger perk, only instead of the guy appearing out of nowhere to kill enemies for you, he instead saves you from the brink of death. That's just my guess though, so what do you guys think? Next is Grim Reaper's Sprint, which is a Fallout 4 perk. Any kill in VATS has a 15% chance to restore all action points at rank 1, so I'm assuming it's the same in Fallout 76. Okay, now onto the easier to read real versions of the cards. First up, we have a new strength perk called Gladiator. Your one-handed melee weapons now do plus 10% damage at rank 1, and there are 3 ranks. And another new strength perk called Through Hiker. Food and drink weights are reduced by 30% at rank 1, with 3 ranks altogether. Next up, we have another new perception perk, Green Thumb. You have a 25% chance to reap twice as much when harvesting flora at rank 1, with 3 ranks available. I can see this perk coming in handy if you need a lot of ingredients for cooking food, like if you're playing a chef character or something. A new endurance perk, Slow Metabolizer. All food satisfies hunger by an additional 15% at rank 1, with 3 ranks available, and this card is locked until level 5. Another new charisma perk, Happy Camper. Hunger and thirst grow 40% more slowly when in camp or in a team workshop at rank 1, with 2 ranks available. So this is one of those perks that you would equip temporarily while in camp. It will definitely make your time in camp less annoying while you spend hours and hours building and perfecting your place and not having to worry as much about your survival needs. I will probably definitely be using this one when I'm doing builds. The next perk is Scrounger, which is in Fallout 4, but they changed it a little bit, making it more specific. 50% chance to find extra ammo when you search an ammo container at rank 1, and there are a total of 3 ranks. In Fallout 4, this applied to any container that you search, not just ammo containers, and it starts at 40% instead of 50. Then we are presented with a bunch of charisma perk cards, all but one of which are new, so I'll just start on the left. We've got Philanthropist. Restore some of your team's hunger and thirst when you eat or drink. And the number of ranks is hidden, so it's impossible to tell if it has more than 1. This is another one of those team bolstering perks that a bard or healer type character would find useful when traveling with friends. Next we have Spiritual Healer. You regenerate health for a certain number of seconds after reviving another player, and the amount of seconds is hidden here, and so are the number of ranks. Then we have Squad Maneuver. Squad Maneuverer, maybe? I don't know. Run 10% faster when part of a team. So there's actually a lot of really good team building kinds of perks where you can get benefits while you're with other people, and some of these perks actually benefit your friends as well, so that's cool. And then we also have Strange in Numbers. Positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated too. And there is only 1 rank to this one, so this is interesting. If all your friends have mutations, and you do too, you can create quite a uniquely skilled group. It might be interesting to see how that works out. The next perk is Lone Wanderer, and in Fallout 4, it allows you to take 15% less damage and increases your carry weight by 50 at rank 1 when traveling without a companion. However, they changed it for Fallout 76 since you don't have companions. It is now, when adventuring alone, take 10% less damage and gain 10% AP regen at rank 1, with 3 ranks available. I'm not sure which version I like better. That extra carry weight is very nice, but I'm sure there are other perks in Fallout 76 that will make up for that being gone. Next we have Team Medic. Your stim packs now also heal nearby teammates for half the normal strength, and this has 3 ranks. Another perk for the healer type character, and this one is actually pretty useful too. Next is another new one, Bloodsucker. Blood packs now satisfy thirst, no longer irradiate, and heal 50% more at rank 1 with 3 total ranks. I don't know about you, but drinking a blood pack just kind of grosses me out. But there you go. Now we've got a whole mess of cards to look at here, and I'll try to go through them quickly. First we have Dromedary, an endurance perk. All drinks quench thirst by an additional 15% at rank 1. Another survival perk. Next we have another charisma perk, Happy Go Lucky. Your luck is increased by 2 while under the influence of alcohol, and that has 2 ranks. Next we have Quack Surgeon, which we saw earlier but couldn't read. Revive other players with liquor. We may be seeing a lot of drunk players out in the wasteland. So if this lets you revive players with liquor, then I wonder what you use to revive them normally. Probably stim packs, like you do with companions in Fallout 4, maybe. Now we have Contractor. Crafting workshop items now cost 25% less materials at rank 1 with 2 total ranks. This one will be very useful when building. I know for sure I'm going to be using it. Need to make sure I put points in intelligence. And the last one on this list that we haven't already talked about, Master Hacker. This one is similar to the Fallout 4 Hacker perk. Gain +1 hacking skill and terminal lockout time is reduced. This has only 1 rank, so it looks like hacking in Fallout 76 will always be a little bit harder than in Fallout 4 with a fully upgraded hacking perk, since it doesn't give you the benefits of the other ranks, like in Fallout 4. Maybe it compensates somehow? I don't know. Oh, look, another list of perks. Let's start with the strength stack. First, we have Sturdy Frame. Armor weighs 25% less than normal at rank 1 with only 2 total ranks. I can see this one being quite useful if you're one of those people who tend to be always over-encumbered, like me. Then we have Expert Slugger. Your two-handed melee weapons now do plus 10% damage at rank 1 with 3 total ranks. Batteries included. Energy weapon ammo weighs 30% less at rank 1. So ammo will definitely have weight, in case you were wondering. Another essential perk for those pack rats out there. Next we have Bandolier. Ballistic weapon ammo weighs 90% less at rank 3. I have a feeling that the strength stat will be everyone's best friend in this game, because they have said that your carrying capacity will be less than in Fallout 4. Next we move on to the Perception stack. Perceptible. You hear directional audio when in range of a bobblehead. So this will be super useful for all you bobble hunters out there. Will help you find them easier. Now, this one I'm going to have a little bit of trouble pronouncing. Panopictographist? Panopictographist? I don't know. You hear directional audio when in range of a magazine. So this one, along with the bobblehead one, are perks that you're going to always want equipped, probably, at least until you find all the collectibles, right? How are we going to have room for all these? It's going to be hard to give up some perks for others. It really will take careful planning when it comes to choosing perks. Moving into the endurance stack, we've got Vaccinated. Chance of catching a disease from creatures is reduced 60% at rank 2 with 3 total ranks. Now, if diseases are even half as annoying as they are in Fallout 4, then this will be a very popular perk, I think. Next up, we have Professional Drinker. There's no chance you'll get addicted to alcohol. With those other alcohol perks, this one would be essential, and it looks like you could really do a decent alcoholic build. Now we have another perk from Fallout 4, Aqua Girl, or Aqua Boy. You no longer take rad damage from swimming, and can breathe underwater. A very useful perk, as you can use water to escape enemies, or you can use rivers as safe roads, basically, as long as there are enough rivers, anyway. Next we have Hard Bargain. Buying and selling prices at vendors are better, and this one has 3 ranks. Definitely a must-have if you're trying to save those caps. Then we have Inspirational, which is also a perk from Fallout 4 that had to do with your companions doing damage in battle and not harming you. But in Fallout 76, it applies when you're on a team. So you gain 5% more XP at rank 1 with 3 total ranks. Another one that you would equip temporarily while playing with others. Now we've got Party Girl or Party Boy. The effects of alcohol are doubled. This perk has 2 ranks. And this was a Fallout 4 perk that made it so you could no longer get addicted to alcohol, but as we've seen already, that has been replaced by the Professional Drinker perk in Fallout 76. Now there's a couple cards in the Intelligence stack, and the first one is First Aid. Stim packs restore 10% more lost health at rank 1, and there are 4 ranks. It looks like this one is taking the place of the Medic perk in Fallout 4, as they do basically the same thing. Now this one is interesting. Exotic weapons. You can now craft rank 1 exotic weapon mods. Plans required. And the Vault Boy there is holding a bow and arrows. Now we were shown footage of a crossbow. So this game is going to have a wider variety of weapons other than just the usual guns and melee. I wonder if the flintlock pistol we saw in older footage will fall into this category. But it also says plans required. And this is probably referring to the crafting recipes that we have to find in the world. Next we move to the Agility stack, where there are only 2 cards in this example, the first one being Goat Legs. Take 80% less damage from falling, fully ranked. Now, Some people may wonder, what's the point of this perk if you can just wear power armor and take no damage at all from falling? But not everyone likes to wear power armor, believe it or not. I never wear it in my playthroughs unless it's required by a quest, which in Fallout 4 it's not ever required by a quest. So, and also we don't yet know how common power armor will be in Fallout 76 or how easy it will be to get. It's very easy and very common to get in Fallout 4, but they may have changed it. I personally am hoping they did change it and it's harder to get now, because I always thought it was too easy before. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I am curious to know what you guys think about it though. So next we have Marathoner. Sprinting consumes 20% fewer action points at rank 1 with 3 total ranks. This one will be a must for me, as I'm sure those of you who watch my Fallout 4 Let's Plays know. I run away a lot. And finally, we move on to the luck stack, and the first one is Starched Genes. You will never mutate from rads, and Radaway will never cure mutations. Now this one is interesting. It seems to be a little bit contradictory of itself. I can't decide in what situation you would want to use this one. If you want a mutation and don't want to get rid of it, you might use it so Radaway doesn't cure it, but then it also prevents you from getting them in the first place. And then I suppose if you don't have a mutation already and don't want to get one, then the first half of this perk is very useful. Maybe if you have a mutation that you really like and don't care about getting any others, assuming you can even have more than one at a time, then I can see this one being useful in that regard. Anyway, what do you guys think about that one? Next we have an oldie but goodie, Mysterious Stranger. This one, of course, is in Fallout 4 and other Fallout games as well. The Mysterious Stranger will occasionally appear in VATS to lend a hand with deadly efficiency, and at rank 2, which this card shows, the Mysterious Stranger appears more often when using VATS, and this one has 3 ranks total. Next we have Luck of the Draw. Your weapon has a 10% chance to regain condition when hitting an enemy at rank 1, and with 3 total ranks. I think the devs just had a field day with these perk cards, since Todd Howard said there are hundreds of them. I imagine they just went all out on thinking up the craziest, wackiest things possible. It will be fun to find out what they all are. Now I noticed that there are a few other cards sort of in the background below these main cards. I think these are the ones that the player has available to use but doesn't have equipped yet. It's kind of hard to read them, but I'll try my best. First, under Perception, we have Refractor, and this is actually a Fallout 4 perk, and it seems like the Fallout 4 version is actually better, since at rank 1 it gives you plus 10 energy resistance and it has 5 ranks, but the Fallout 76 version has only 1 rank and it grants you plus 3 or maybe plus 5, it's hard to tell, energy resistance. But a little is better than none, I guess. Then we have Science. You can now craft energy guns. Plans required. At least I think that's what it said. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. This is also a perk in Fallout 4, the Science perk, but there it's used to craft mods for energy weapons. But it looks like in Fallout 76 you can actually craft the guns as well. But of course you need the plans that you have to find somewhere in the world. Then under Perception we've got Gunrunner. Your running speed is increased by 10% when you have a pistol equipped. If you combine this one with Squad Maneuver when in a group, and you'll be flying across the map with 20% more running speed, provided, of course, that you're carrying a pistol. And last we have Can Do. I think that's what it says. This one is especially hard to make out, but I think I got it. 50% chance to find an extra canned good when you search a food container. And again, they specify the type of container, just like with the Scrounger perk. Now, also in the perk card pack that they opened, there is another one that we haven't seen yet, and that is Expert Heavy Gunner. Your non-explosive heavy guns now do plus 10% damage at rank 1, and there are 3 ranks. And that is all the perk cards that they showed us in the Bethesda QuakeCon panel. But that is only 44 perk cards out of hundreds. So, we still have a lot to discover once we get in-game. Anyway, you guys, this video has gone on a lot longer than I intended, so I'm going to end it here. But I would really like to know what you guys think of all this. Let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, as it helps out my channel a lot. And if you'd like to support my channel, you can do that by following the links in the description. And my social media links will be down there as well if you're interested in following me there. Until the next video, you guys, remember to play safe, play nice, and have fun. Bye.